Mic test. All right, here we go. Welcome everybody to the live stream. I completely forgot that I had that sound enabled, but it doesn't matter. We're here to have some fun, and we're here to talk about ways to get started in cybersecurity. Let me know if the music is too loud, and if you can't hear me properly, I'll get my mic a little bit closer so that we can get through this perfectly. And yeah, for people who are interested in the giveaway to the Safer Internet project, I'm gonna go with whoever has a really good story. Doesn't matter what the story's about, chuck it in the chat, and I'll read out the stories a bit later and then decide on which story I like the most. It can be about whatever you want. It's a very loose competition, but yeah, we'll get through to that a little bit later on. I'm gonna swap this over straight away to get into the content that we're all here for, which is how to get started in cybersecurity. Let's do it. All right. Number one item on the list to get started in cybersecurity. I know a lot of you who I've seen here in the chat are well aware of all of these things that I have linked up the top here, but we're going to go through them one by one for anyone else who comes back to this video a little bit later. The first item on the list is the Bandit War Game on OverTheWire.org. The reason I have put this website in here is because it's super useful for learning some bash scripting and bash pen testing and basic bash commands. It's a very useful website to get to. It's aimed from super basic to a little bit more advanced once you get into some of the other war games. But yeah, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's completely free. You don't have to sign up an account or anything crazy like that. You just connect to their VPN and have a crack. It's a super useful resource to get started with. On to the second item on this list. It is, of course, the Safer Internet project. Now, the Safer Internet project is designed to give you a real team as a pen tester or security analyst experience. So the way that is done is there are some basic learning modules to go through first so that you can learn, the basics of cybersecurity. And once those are completed, there's this final module, which is the AirDesker module. That is in there to be pen tested against, and you have to write a full report, and then you become a verified member. With being a verified member, you get to actually actively participate in real world pen tests against real business systems, which is, no one else does that. So that's a pretty cool experience in itself. And it's super cheap. It comes in at, if I get to the website right, $25 if you are a student and $49 if you are a professional. The only difference there is that we wanted to sort of make it cheaper for students because, I was a student once and I knew I couldn't afford anything. So yeah, that's the whole reason that exists. So if you want to check that out, it's saferinternetproject.com. On to the next item on this list, we have PentesterLab. And their headline, as you can see here, is "We make learning web hacking easier." PentesterLab is a huge program. It's been around for a very long time, and it's super useful. If you want to really get started and start learning about all different types of vulnerabilities and go through different exercises and join their boot camp, it's perfect. It's great for all of that, and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's honestly one of the only paid subscriptions I would recommend other than the Safer Internet project. The PentesterLab system is really well built from the ground up. It takes you from zero to hero, and it's awesome. It's good stuff. All right, on to another paid course. This is by a friend of mine called Cristi Zot. He's a Romanian dude. He wrote a course called Python for Pen Testers on Udemy, and it is literally the only Udemy course I recommend for people to take if they want to get into pen testing. All of these things, by the way, are not only pen tester related. They it's across the board. So we'll get to the other ones later, but Python for pen testers, it tells you how to create different pen testing scripts and automation tools using Python. And it starts off really basic and sort of gets a little bit more advanced as you go through. They often have discounts on Udemy across this this Udemy course. There's always a discount, so don't worry about the 1 day left blah blah thing. It changes all the time. So if you don't get it on a discount at the moment, all good. Check in the next day, it might be discounted. It's not up to Christy himself. It just changes like that with Udemy. All right, one next thing, which is not actually a course so much, but there is a course if you want to do it, is to learn the ITIL framework. Now, for anyone who's ever done any of my coaching sessions, they will know that I mentioned the ITIL framework and that most employers, they don't actually ask for the certification itself. They just want to know that you have an understanding of the ITIL framework and what it is. You can find out all about the ITIL framework on this website, which is diligent.com/insight/compliance/what is the ITIL framework. You can also get to it by literally just going to Google and type in ITIL framework. It's probably the first, second, or third result on that list. Super useful to know. Great for getting past that initial, I guess, hurdle when you're going for a job and they start asking you about, different frameworks and what do you know and how would you process different things and how do you assess risk. Yeah, this is exactly what they're asking you. They just don't ask you the name. So that's that one. On to the next one that everyone knows. It's of course TryHackMe. The reason I've put TryHackMe in here, because if I was to get started in cybersecurity now, TryHackMe would be a very useful resource to get started with. They have a 80% to 20% ratio of free to paid content on this website, which is a really cool thing. So definitely check out tryhackme.com. There's lots of different CTFs on there. There's one that I created a while ago. There's actually two that I created on here a while ago. But one of them got taken down, but the other one's still there. So if you want to check it out, I think it's called, what is it? It's like Hacker Chat something. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all about cryptography and decrypting hashes and all that sort of fun stuff in a very basic way. It's not meant to be an advanced CTF at all. But yeah, on TryHackMe, they have these different learning paths, which are pretty damn cool. They give you the introduction to cybersecurity, which is, good, junior pen tester, pre-security, cyber defense, complete beginner, offensive pen testing, which used to be called the OSCP pathway, but I think they had to change their name. They also have the CompTIA Pen Test Plus section and the web fundamentals. There's so much information on TryHackMe. It's absolutely worth getting involved in and having a look at, because it's probably the most recognized CTF for beginners website out there. The only downside of TryHackMe is that it doesn't give you sort of an entry into actually getting a job. It won't really look that great on your resume if you're going to say, oh, I did all these things on TryHackMe. Your employer will be like, that's great, dude, but do you have any actual experience? Similar to bug bounties, essentially. So there is that to look at. So if you're looking to, actually get a job off the back of it, then, that's tricky, because it won't help you with that. But what it will help you with is actual knowledge, which is good. That's why it's in the list here. On to the next thing, which is another free resource. It is the MITRE D3FEND, or MITRE Defend framework. They also have an attack framework, but I wanted to put this one in because it's all about that blue team defense side of things. So the only way to sort of go through this in any sort of sensible manner, because they start off with the topics at the top. So harden, detect, isolate, deceive, evict. Those are essentially the stages of mitigating a risk in an environment, and it's a great place to start off with when you're sort of learning about how a I guess, a SOC analyst job works. So first you would go in and harden the environment. Usually what happens before that is someone will pen test an environment and tell you what the flaws are. So then off the back of that, you then harden the flaws that were found or vulnerabilities. Then you set up a detection system. Then you isolate other risks. You deceive the risks that come in with things like honeypots and decoy files and stuff like that. And then you evict the risk from the environment. That's essentially from beginning to end of how a SOC analyst job actually works. So it's super cool. It's useful to get into and get going with. The next one is, of course, Hack the Box. Now, Hack the Box is actually a little bit more, I would say, advanced as far as a CTF website goes when compared with TryHackMe. But it is very useful to sort of have a go with and get going on. I'm just going to change the music here real quick because this is absolutely blitzing my ears with this terrible song. All right, there we go. So as it says here, you level up your skills. There's different things on here like hacking labs. There's some pro labs for people who pay for a subscription. Battlegrounds, Capture the Flag, the Academy, and there's InfoSec careers. Now, the career section I find is a little bit not so great for someone who's outside of the US or the EU, but for everyone else, it's pretty, yeah, for everyone in those areas, it's really good. It's a useful resource. There is also lots of different knowledge-based articles in there. There's a massive community. One of my mates actually works in the community and helps people out every day with their CTFs and their learning paths, which is really cool. It's really good system, and I love that. I guess like collective friendship or maybe relationship that they build with you to sort of bring things together and make that learning experience a little bit more fun and good. So that's definitely worth having a look at. Hack the Box. Now, finally, before I give away a subscription to the Safer Internet Project to one of you lucky viewers, get your super amazing stories in. Navjot Singh, stop spamming the messages, dude. I'm not going to read it. Get your mad stories in. Doesn't have to be your story. It can be any story that you think is super fun in maybe like 100 words or less. I want like a real basic story. So throw it in. I want to hear it. The last item on this list is literally just a drop to a promo to my cybersecurity, cybersecurity career coaching session. So this is a one-on-one session where we will talk face-to-face over a video call about your goals, where you want to go, and how to achieve those goals. From people who have done this, they've said it's very good, so I thought I would throw it up here and put it in the how to get started section. This doesn't just apply to cybersecurity. It's I've done these sessions for people in all different types of roles that they want to get into in the IT, landscape. So yeah, it's a pretty cool service, I think, to get going with, and I couldn't recommend it enough to you because I mean it helps me. So if you really want to help the channel, this is the way to do it. If you want to have a one-on-one chat with me, that's exactly how you go about that. So yeah, go and book in. Let's do it. Now I'm just going to bring this back to myself. I need to disable that that thing. So that is how to get started in cybersecurity, and I hope this has been helpful. Vinci Social Butterfly, thank you very much for the $1 US tip. I appreciate that very much. That's very nice. He says, you inspire me daily. I try to tune into your Sunday/Monday live streams. Thanks, man. I actually have, I think I have one on Sunday. I can't remember, but there is also another one on possibly tomorrow night with some guy. It might not be on my channel though. It might be on his channel. So I'm not too sure where that's going to go down or what's going to happen with that. But yeah, I'll post about it on my Discord. So if you want to jump into my Discord to find out when that happens, it's discord.gg/dccybersec. Yeah, So that's it. That's how to get started. Get your stories in. I want to see some epic stories. No one's put a story in yet. No contest. We know not to share the safe. What? So no contest. I don't know what that means. Just put your stories in the chat. So if you got a story, chuck it in the chat. I want to see your stories, and I'm going to choose one of them to win this prize. Deepak Punikar, please give me free resources to learn networking before starting ethical hacking. Download this question. I mean, you could have rephrased it, but that's okay. Packet Tracer is a great resource to get started with. There's also some CTFs out there that focus on Wireshark, which is really useful for learning how packets travel across networks. So if you want to learn that one as well, have a look. I can't remember what the CTF is called. There was like a competition a few years ago where this CTF involving PCAP files was done. So yeah, that's definitely one way to go about learning networking before getting into cybersecurity. I didn't want to make this video about like the fundamentals, because everyone always talks about the fundamentals of IT to get into cybersecurity, and those are great. I've done a few of those videos already, but I thought I'd do this one on just banging out resources. So yeah, that's one way. It used to be on TryHackMe, Vinci, but it's not on there anymore. I don't know where it's gone, but yeah, it was actually from another CTF. So the TryHackMe guys had it originally from this other website, and I think it's on CTF Time now. But basically, it was on this website, and they put it on TryHackMe, and then I think they got upset that it was on TryHackMe, so they took it away. But I'm sure you could find it if you Google Wireshark CTF. It'll pop up there somewhere, I'm sure. Rymax says, "Can you do Burp Suite tutorials?" I mean, I could, but I don't really want to. Oh, here we go. We got the first story. RX100. So far, you're the winner because no one else has put a story in. The story is a story in the Old Testament. Jonah was an Israelite whom God had called to be a prophet, but who refused to accept his divine mission and left on a sea voyage instead. God then raised a great storm. That's part 1 of 2. Okay, we're going to go on to the next story while RX100 types in the second part of that. Oh no, why says, got into CyberSec ever since seeing my dad get attacked by a ransom from email as a kid, and watching his PC just transforming was sad but very, very interesting to watch. And now I'm here. Welcome, dude. That's quite a story. I like it. It's a little bit better than the Old Testament story from the Bible, have to admit. Sabi M says, "Hi DC, where do you see the job market in the future between data versus cyber?" I mean, they're two massive markets, dude, so it could go either way, to be completely honest. But I don't know, man. With more data comes more cyber risk, right? So I would say they're equal as far as that goes. The same thing for, like, you know what I see a drop in? I reckon there's going to be a drop in developer jobs. So the reason for that is that there's so many, like, build your own system things coming out, the same way that different, like, easy build website building software like Wix, Shopify, Squarespace, etc. All of those came out and kind of killed a lot of the web development market. Now, sure, I mean, there's some websites need to be built from scratch, or should be built from scratch, I should say, and they're not. But the reason for that is that it's less affordable to build a website from scratch, because you need to pay a developer a lot of money to do that. Whereas if you have one of these systems that can build it for you, you can build it yourself, and you don't have to pay anything except a subscription fee, which for getting started is much, much cheaper and easier to sort of get running with. And then once you've got money, then you can, pay for someone to do it properly. So yeah. K-Tara says both ways as well. You have to secure more data. That's exactly right. C-Doll Tech says, I got bored of healthcare, so I'm transitioning into tech. Just landed my first role a month ago. I actually have, wait, I have a cheering. Congratulations, C-Doll Tech. That's epic news. Love to hear it. RX100 still going with his Old Testament story. I'm not into it, dude. I have to say, I'm not feeling the story. Vinci says, you have inspired me to go for it to work full time, and I jumped into an unpaid internship in a hospital IT department. I do this on my days off from my full-time job. You have to start from somewhere. Absolutely, dude. And I think your efforts will be rewarded massively after a little bit of time. So once you get that experience, I think it's really going to help you out. What I would also recommend, depending on what kind of job you're wanting to get into, is to have a look at the Safer Internet project and see if it is the kind of project that you would be interested getting into to learn some of the stuff that you're not learning from that internship. Maybe just have a look, see what it's about. Who knows? Just reading through some of the chat here. It's out of control. Making friends and networking is the way to make it happen. Absolutely, dude. Just started your associate's degree last August. Nice one. That's cool, dude. Bjorn is dropping some hammers down. We're not going to ban anyone for Old Testament stories. The competition here is if whoever has the best story, and it can be whatever story. I did say whatever story, so he's well within his rights to post an Old Testament story. It's just that I'm not that into it. I'm really sorry. I went to a Catholic school, and I've heard the stories, dude. So I want like new stories. I want fresh ideas. And so far, the person who's winning this story competition is OverTheWire. So if I'm going to give you guys maybe 7 more minutes to get some epic stories in. And yeah, whoever wins gets a Safer Internet Project subscription. You're going to also have to add me on Discord to get that. So for random people adding me and saying that you are the person, don't do that because I will ban you and I'll just block you. But for anyone else, you will get a free subscription. Rio Whitehouse says, did some incident response last year. New client almost lost $150,000 in funding because of a CEO fraud. CEO fraud, right? Actors got via shared GA account with no MFA. Massive oof, dude. That's terrible. I think it warrants this. Yeah, that's it. Some laughter to them for losing $150,000. Terrible news, but yeah, I mean that sucks. But yeah, Fergie says currently studying CyberSec and we're getting slammed with programming. How real world is the need for programming versus being able to read and understand it? Tough question. I would say. How real world is the need for programming versus being able to read and understand? Being able, I mean, that is basically programming. So, I mean, there is thought process, and depending on what kind of programming you're doing, sometimes it's going to be something that's a little bit more, I don't know, like you could be doing back end or front end. So sometimes you need to make it look pretty. Sometimes you just need to make it work. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what do you mean? Is it real world? Programming is programming, be it real world or otherwise. While I'm waiting for some new stories to come in, I just grabbed my Raspberry Pi because I've changed it up a bit since the last time I did anything on this. So I've moved the screen to down here. I haven't recabled it. This is the cable, you know, loom cable from my other one that's on the top. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going to try using this bad boy for 1 month as my main PC and see how insane I go. This is probably going to be a sinkhole for DNS. So yeah, and then I just want to have on the screen, I want to put on some basic monitoring display to see what's going on, like traffic and yeah, resource utilization and stuff like that. So that's what this one down the bottom is going to be. The one at the top is going to be the actual Pi that I use, and yeah, should be kind of cool. I'm going to bridge these connections because this bad boy has Wi-Fi. This one down here doesn't. So I'm going to need to do some jigging around of that, but that should be kind of fun, and might actually make me go insane. Like I might actually lose my shit. But yeah, another story. Here we go. We got another story from Rio's. Registered a few domains and added them to the tenant, then monitored email for funding negotiations and tried the old switcheroo. Lucky we picked it up early. That's good. Congratulations, dude. That is epic news. We love to hear it. You know, good stuff. Good stuff. Bjorn says, wrote a script to help with maintenance activities, ended up putting a multi-billion-dollar mining company's AD server in a boot loop. GG, dude. You're not going to win the Safer Internet Project subscription, though, because you own it. So that's not going to happen. Vincey says, the reason I'm going to school to help people, whether young, old, or anywhere in between, I work full-time in the tech field where I bring people phones when they make a phone claim. Yeah, right. That's cool. I see how many people get compromised. I've always been doing tech, and I wanted to further that with cyber. Epic, dude. That's a good one. He says, I've been compromised. Also, it can happen to anyone. Facts. That is your story. That's a good story. I like it. I like it. Rio continues on. There was the time I implemented a new Zen server backup solution and forgot to disable the old backup service. I was able to get them back online, but it was hell of a few days with an offline SQL server. Yeah, that would have been pretty shit, I have to say. Was that SQL server, was that like a prod server that they used all the time? Because that would have been crazy. Oh, by the way, my room has completely changed. There's now a bed here, a lamp is there, and a beanbag down there. It's all different. My light is also up the top now instead of down. There used to be a couch here. It's gone. It's gone. And yeah, the other light is like over there in another spot. Everything's changed. I've moved everything yet again. But for anyone who's new here, you wouldn't know the changes. But this room has changed maybe like 7 times now since I've been in here. But yeah. Vincey says, I'm a web developer. I wanted to further those skills for the good. I wanted to learn how to pen test websites to find vulnerabilities. Nice one. RX100, he finally has a story that's not God related. Here we go. My CS teacher asked help from students about Windows boot issues. I tried Googling the error and it solved. Then after I got to know cybersecurity, learned some things and trying to learn new things. Cool story. It doesn't win though. So far, there's 2 choices here, and I'm gonna put it to the chat. We have RX100 with a story, the original story, which was if I go up and find it, it might be too far back in the chat for me to see. Oh yeah, no, RX100 had a terrible story. It's OverTheWire who had a good stories. Got into CyberSec ever since seeing my dad get attacked by a ransom from email as a kid, and watching his PC just transform was sad but very, very interesting to watch. Now I'm here. That's his story. That's story number 1 in the running. The second story that I quite like is here, where was it? The reason I'm going to school to help people, whether young, old, and anywhere between. I work full-time in the tech field where I bring people phones when they make a phone claim. See how many people get compromised. I've always been doing tech and wanted to further that with cyber. I've also been compromised before. It can happen to anyone. That is my story. Who we got? Who's gonna be the winner of this? You guys say, is it Vincey, Social Butterfly, or is it OverTheWire? Drop your answers in the chat, and one of these two. Oh wait, no, we got some more entries here. Hold on. One sec. One more entry from Brian Cohn. It says, I recently graduated with a BS in IT focusing on cyber and felt money went down the drain. Got with Hack the Box and learned more. And a couple months later, I did in 5 years. Okay, that's good. There we go. We got Josh as well. Josh says, when I was 14, I got DDoSed in Minecraft and was so confused how someone was able to turn off my internet. And then I ended up making a VPN company, and along the way, 8 years later, forever learning. You made a VPN company. Cool, dude. That's epic. That is epic. I think that warrants... do I have another... Oh, I do. I have some more sound effects. Is this a sound effect? Sorry about your ears. That's enough of that. What do you guys reckon about the stories? Is it OverTheWire? Is it Vinci Social Butterfly? Or is it Josh? Or is it Brian? Get your answers in. I want to see who you think should win a subscription to the Safer Internet Project. I'd do a poll if I knew how to do it. But yeah, so we got one vote for OverTheWire. We've got one vote for Vinci from himself. RX100 also has a vote for himself. Who's it going to be? I mean, OverTheWire, if you vote for yourself, you got one more vote than everyone else. So maybe. Come on, guys, let's wrap this up. Let's do it. Who's winning? Vote Ono. Okay. Oh, another vote for Brian. You put your own story in. You're voting for someone else. Hot damn. Vote for Vinci. We got 3 votes for Vinci, 3 votes for OverTheWire. Who's it gonna be? And it's Vinci. Damn. Rio in for the clutch win on Vinci. Congratulations, dude. If you have me on Discord, add me, and I'll send you a free subscription to the Safer Internet Project. Congratulations. That's awesome. Sorry to everyone else who didn't win, but that's all good. I'm now going to share with you a very quick war story, which is one that I've told on this channel before, which was, this is a while ago. This is like 2 years ago. I had just started a new contract as well, the contract was for a systems and network pen tester. But anyway, I was on call this one week. It was, I think, like 5 a.m. in the morning, and I got called out to this client who was apparently getting DDoSed. So anyway, I went out there. I got there about 6 o'clock. It was in the city, and I went out there, and they were getting hammered. Their internet was hardly taking it. Just couldn't do it. So I put in a DNS sinkhole, similar to my Raspberry Pi one, as well as a honeypot to basically just try and capture traffic and push it to the side so that I could potentially catch them, but to also try and, just get some services working before these guys actually turned up in their office. Now, this client was a rather large national mining company. So they had some issues. They have like an on-call staff, but they outsource some of their services to the place that I was working or contracting for at the time. So yeah, that's basically what happened. I went out there half asleep, didn't have any coffee. I was very angry. Put in a honeypot and a DNS sinkhole. It got the things going, which was good. It after a while, it took a little bit of time, and my sinkhole thing was burning hot. I mean, it was really getting hammered. So someone really wanted to stop them from doing their mining business, I guess. But yeah, that's basically how it went down. So I was there for most of the day, just sort of messing around. By about midday, I was mostly just having coffees with the guys who actually worked there and chilling out, and it was all hunky dory. But yeah, it was very stressful for an early morning call. So yeah, you can imagine. Anyway, that's all we're doing in this live stream, guys. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate all of you coming along to watch this. I hope you have learnt some new things from this video, especially at the start where I was talking about, the different systems and services out there that can help you to get started in cybersecurity. If you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it if you like. Subscribe for more content. I have a truckload of content coming out. There's a video, my next video is coming out very soon. I'm still editing it at the moment. I've cut it down from an hour to around 40 minutes. So it's a super long video. But I think it'll be a really good video for all of you to sort of have a look at and get involved with. So hopefully that one goes well. And yeah, after that, there's plenty more videos coming out. So stick around, subscribe for more content just like this. Comment on this video later if you want, and we can continue the conversation there. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you very much for coming. Peace. Or is this the beginning of DC After Dark? No, I'm joking, I'm ending.